EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the state of Florida and TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. On 1st and 10, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line. Sometimes
when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, Winston. This is caught by Jackson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Winston now to throw on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Kessler looks to throw on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lavonte David coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. They stare up now at a 3rd and long. Kessler and company needing something big after the sack. Working from the gun, Kessler. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. A handoff to Fournette. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From midfield, here's Kessler. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Kessler. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. Adam Humphries deep for Tampa Bay. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Possession going back over to Tampa Bay here, and for the Buccaneers, it's kind of been a wild ride through first half plus of the season. You had some exhilarating wins at New Orleans, at home against the defending champs, and then they've had a lot of lulls too, haven't they?
They certainly have, and probably the biggest story is the adversity of dealing with the quarterback position. Jameis Winston not ready to start the season. Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in and lights it up. And we have Fitzmagic. Then he hits some bumps. Jameis Winston comes in and plays well at times.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now Winston. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready. Blue ready. Let him go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Forced out to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Play action. Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Jameis to throw it. Airing this one out for Evans. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, 43 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Jacksonville, Charles, is a team that you and I have talked about a lot this year because there was all that anticipation coming into the season on the heels of 2017, but the first half of the year was just not kind to them, and they entered their bye week on a 4-game losing skid. Blake Bortles in and out of the lineup, Leonard Fournette out of the lineup. I don't know what to make of 2018 for this team.
Yeah, I don't either. They moved Dante Fowler Jr. to Los Angeles in a trade at the deadline, but I still feel like there's something there. This team is too talented to be in this type of a skid. And apart from games with the Steelers and the Texans, schedule is favorable on the back end. Let's see if guys like Calais Campbell can lead them back to some of the success they had in 2017.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Looking to throw on first is Kessler. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Brent Grimes, the former Pro Bowler, there on the coverage. Charles, I want to go in a different direction for a second, talk about Le'Veon Bell, because the November 13th report date has come and gone. He's still not with the Steelers. Now, the good news, though, Le'Veon Bell not there, but James Conner has been good in his stead.
He certainly has, and we have to think now that maybe we won't see Le'Veon Bell in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, ever again. And that's for another day. He's not there. You just hit it, though. James Conner, this Pittsburgh team has really elevated its game around James Conner, playing awfully well. He's playing well. And I think there's a certain sense when you watch them that they all want to prove something.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Well, Charles, a year ago at this time, I asked you what your Thanksgiving plans were. So I got a funny answer out of you last year. I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Trying to figure out exactly what time I can kick everyone out of my house so I can just hunker down and watch what's left of the football schedule. That's what I want to know.
Oh, come on. Your mother-in-law is coming in. It's going to be a great time at the Davis household.
But she can stay as long as she wants. She's family. But everyone else,
get out.
They have an expiration time.
What about the dogs?
50-50. Depends on how they act that day.
Well, when things go awry, you can just get in the car and head out for the airport because you got a game that weekend.
I certainly do. I will be headed to Charlotte, Seattle, Carolina.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They're indeed going. It's Winston. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Kessler, off play action. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Now it's Wilson. Time for... You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, it's Fournette. And he powers his way up past the 30. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
From the gun on third, Kessler. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down.
Watch him now, Barney.
So they will go for it. Now Kessler. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Changing topics here for just a second to look ahead to our Thanksgiving slate. You got Chicago and Detroit early, but then, of course, Dallas late. And it's a rivalry game. They host Washington.
Yeah, and how great is that they're going to give that one on Thanksgiving because they've given us some memorable ones throughout the years. And it's always interesting to hear just how intense this rivalry is, even in today's NFL. I've talked to guys who have played for both Dallas and Washington, and they always say it's such a struggle when they hear they have to go to the other team. No matter what the circumstances, that's the one team that you don't want to go play for. And they always say it's very strange to put on that other uniform.
Whoever wins that game, the turkey will taste a lot better in the locker room after.
Ready. Move away.
Winston from the gun on third down. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs tree trunk. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
All right, here we go. Green.
On 2nd down, here's Kessler. Incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. The first carry here for Jacquizz Rodgers. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Evans. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
I don't know about you, but I felt there's a little extra juice when you see Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans early. And when they do it often, this team is really energized.
Well, Evans at 6'5", those long arms, that's so tough to defend.
And he surprises you with how fast he is because he looks like he's just loping along, and all of a sudden you're 10 yards behind him, and Jameis Winston finds him.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Winston. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Calais Campbell getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Peyton Barber taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. Green to bring it back. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out come the Jags. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Kessler throwing on second down. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Here we go. Kessler on fourth down. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third down. Kessler. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 42. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And an alley to run. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Let's go now.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready. Blue ready.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll set them back 5. Winston here to throw. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Wait.
To throw is Winston. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it.